Shaun O'Hara, my compatriot from the NFL Network.
Yes.
Is here. I feel like I'm saying this it is actually for the fifth time. You can catch Shaun on a special 8.5-hour edition of NFL Game Day Morning starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time on NFL Network. A Super Bowl champion from, let me do that. Man, it's a long time ago. Super Bowl
11?
Wow.
No.
11 years?
No, Super Bowl 42. Right?
Man. Yeah, 11 years.
So that's now 11 Super Bowls ago. Good to see you, JB Smoove, hanging out here still. 11.
Like
how
that.
How many people think you were there for both Giants Super
I get that a
Bowls?
lot. Yeah. Where's your other ring?
You're wearing it right now. You got the ring on your hand right now.
Yeah. People ask, where's your other one? Or, which one? Which one's your favorite? Or, which one do you remember the most?
And you only won one.
Just one, yeah.
So I'm going to ask this question on behalf of Chris Brockman.
No, I don't want to ask it anymore.
You don't?
I think we've buried the hatchet. We've moved on. I'm growing. 2019, personal growth.
Is that right?
I'm putting the past and I'm leaving it in the past.
So you don't want me to ask him if his Super Bowl ring is on his holding hand?
I'm holding on to the past and just forgetting it.
It never fails. It does come up.
I'm not going to hold on to things anymore. I'm going to take grasp of things and then I'm going to let it go. You know what I mean?
You know what that's called? That's called being clutch.
Yeah. That's
clutching
right. That's right.
is okay.
I'm thinking about being
clutch. Is not holding.
Grab onto something. I'm going to rip it from side to side.
It's okay to squeeze. It's okay to clutch.
I might throw it down, and then I'm going to forget about it.
So now Eagles fans will remind everybody that they obviously got Brady and Belichick last year, and for good reason.
Yeah.
Are there any similarities between this current Rams team and what they are able to do and what you were able to do to beat Brady and Belichick in a Super Bowl for the first time?
Well, their offense is definitely more explosive than we were. I think when you look at it, they're the most explosive offense in the NFL. And when you look at all of the talent they have across the board, they probably are a more talented offensive team. Their offensive line is phenomenal. And they're the only offensive line to start all five guys the entire season. They basically played every snap. So from that standpoint, I like this Rams team. I think their offense they've got a lot of continuity, a lot of chemistry. But the parallel that I see is their ability to get after the quarterback, specifically inside with Aaron Donald. We saw Dante Fowler. I mean, everybody's focused on the no call by the referee. How about the fact that the Saints had the ball in overtime and Dante Fowler beat Ryan Ramczyk, their right tackle, who's probably one of the best right tackles in all of football, beat him on a late spin move to pressure Breeze to throw the interception in overtime. That was a huge play, and that's really how you win a football game. Pressure at the end. The Rams have that ability like we did in Super Bowl 42. We moved Justin Tuck inside, and he actually, he beat Russ Hochstein, their backup right guard. He beat him like a drum numerous times. And then we had OC and Strahan on the edges.
Right.
But that pressure, think back to last year, the Super Bowl. How did Philly win? Brady had the ball with time to go. And I thought he was going to march down and they were going to win the game. And then Brandon Graham lined up inside, not outside. He was lined up inside with the sack forced fumble. So that's really what this game's going to come down to.
Yeah, and Wolverine on Wolverine violence.
Ooh, look at you.
Brandon Graham on Tom Brady. I have to point these things out when they're sitting right there. Yeah, for the University of Michigan. Yeah, I'll do that. So how do you think?
And he blew it.
Yes, exactly. How do you see it all playing out though when it all comes down to it on Sunday? What we've already, I think, Brockman, you can attest, and JB's been here all day. What we've heard so far is, I think the Rams can absolutely do it. They've got this, they got that, they got this, they got that. But I can't go against Brady and Belichick.
That's what go against them.
That's what we hear it every single time so far. So, are you in that camp?
I'm in that camp. Yeah, you don't bet against Tom Brady. You don't bet against that team and what they can do. Now, the thing that's really been interesting to me is, I thought when the Rams were down 13-0 in New Orleans, that was a wrap. I thought it was over with. Goff is coming over saying, "I can't hear you." He and McVay, they look like mimes, on the sideline. They're just all hand signals. And I thought, that's it. They're done. They're never going to be able to overcome this. Goff, it reminds me a lot of Eli. You don't get much here. He's just very vanilla. And he just goes out and just balls. And the way he was able to fight out of that. So that impressed me a lot that team was able to do that and rally behind him in that dome. That place is unbelievable. It rattles your molars, and they were able to overcome all that. So I think the problem with the Patriots is they they don't beat themselves. So they make you earn everything. And I think one of the biggest reasons why the Philly won last year was they were aggressive. They had their foot on the gas the whole time. They went for 2 early on. They said, look, we're not settling for a field goal. The fact they didn't kick it down there early on a 4th down, they went for the touchdown. That's how they won the game. The Rams are going to have that same mindset.
Shaun O'Hara here on the Rich Eisen Show alongside with JB Smoove. So what was your media day like? What was Super Bowl media day like at Super Bowl 42? We already heard from Steve Smith, but Super Bowl 38 was not nearly as what it is now. Were you podium worthy? Did you get a podium? Shaun?
Yeah, I don't know how.
You did.
I had a podium.
Do you remember the number of the podium? What podium were you? Podium 1, podium 12?
Definitely wasn't number 1. I don't know what number I was.
All right. Okay.
There were 14 back then, I think.
14?
Yeah, across the field.
How do you remember that?
He doesn't.
We mixed it. We did it. There were 14
Sure,
podiums
I was 14.
across.
There's no way you remember that.
I totally remember that. Across.
Super
7
Bowl
and 7.
42. We did do all that. And without, by the way, mixing it, what he means is a microphone at every podium. And to open it up and close it and whatever.
When we went to him.
I don't that of all the times that I do make fun of how important you make yourself out to be.
Yes.
That
a great way.
Those media sessions to open the mics up and know what we're taking and whatever.
Crazy.
That was impressive.
Thank you, Rich.
But there's no way you remember there was 14 podiums.
And for Super Bowl Sunday, there was an MVP, winning coach, and 6 and 6 or 7 and 7 on each side.
Wow.
For the post game.
I did the reasoning.
I did paperwork. I actually did do a little bit of work.
You
for
did
those
paperwork.
Yeah, unlike this show, I prepared. I'm kidding.
But it makes sense that if I was the last podium, like that, it was kind of like, hey, we got one extra one. Who should we give it to? Let's give it to a lineman.
No,
but it was kind of like one of those double-edged swords because I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. All right, I get to have a podium. But then also, as soon as my fellow offensive lineman saw it, that was it. It opened up the door to just
because you're not supposed to do all that stuff, right?
No.
Well, Whitworth got one last night. So you telling me all the old linemen were giving him grief?
I think they appreciated. I mean, he deserves to have one.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, there you go. What, you didn't deserve to have one?
No, I mean, I think it's just, even though I'm sure his guys are still giving him.
I'm just trying to think in my head
I'm sure they're still giving him a hard time.
So obviously Eli got one, and obviously Coughlin got one.
TC, Strahan
would get one. OC would get
Flax.
one. Plexico got one.
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're now we're running out. Now we're running out of
Brandon
steam.
Jacobs.
Brandon Jacobs got one. Now we're running out of steam. Of course, we're going to give the talkative.
Yeah,
hold on a second.
Mitchell,
hold on a second. Telegenic center of the New York Football Giants from Rutgers. Got to get you up there.
Definitely the Rutgers.
The Rutgers thing put you over the top.
Yeah, we got to have a Jersey guy. We need a Jersey guy up there with a mic.
Got to get the Rutgers guy.
But I remember, I'll never forget. There was somebody there was a lady there that was wearing like a "Marry Me Manning" shirt.
Oh yeah, well the people
she proposed to Brady and Eli. I think both.
Didn't she? She was from the Telemundo, right, Brockman?
Yes.
Isn't that what she?
TV Azteca.
What stage was she on?
TV Azteca, and she would show up in an outfit, in a gown, in a bridal gown.
Yeah, so she wears the shirt that says "Marry Me Manning," and somehow somebody was able to get one of those shirts.
Yeah,
and our left guard, Rich Soybert, who was 320 pounds, we got him to put it on. So when he got on the bus to go to practice, like the next day, he was standing in the aisle. When Eli walked on the bus, he was wearing the shirt.
Yeah,
and I mean, it was like a medium. You know, so it looked like somebody had poured him into this shirt. It's a great picture. I got it on my phone. I'll show you later.
All right, Shaun O'Hara here on the Rich Eisen Show. All right, JB Smoove, I figured you're a big fan of JB Smoove, Shaun.
For sure. I like the boots. And now he's got a clothing line, so it's between him and Strahan as far as who I'm going to represent.
My man Carl Ulysses hooked me up, man. This is my line coming out.
Looks very nice.
Smooth.
Looks very nice.
Cool tuxedo shirt.
I was about to say that's a tuxedo shirt.
It's a tuxedo shirt. Denim. Yeah. This is denim.
Denim tuxedo shirt.
It's denim. Go to denim. See, denim.
I love it. Woo. All right, I've got questions you didn't ask.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you want me to read them out.
Read them out, brother.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Questions that JB Smoove could not get to at last night's media night. James White, you were going to say this. You're so quiet and unassuming, I almost forget you're on the team. Is it true that during a season, you once disappeared from the team for 4 weeks to take your family on a Disney cruise and no one on the Patriots noticed?
Come on, man. Come on. He's a captain, too. Nobody even knows he's a captain. He's a captain. He plays like a few downs a game. I'm like, how did this guy become a captain?
So
I'll tell you who notices when he's not out there.
Belichick?
Is Tom
Brady.
I mean, think about that play in the last game when Brady thought about running for he thought, oh man, I'm going to run for the first down, and then nope, he saw D Ford backed up and just pulls a rabbit out of the hat, back shoulder to James White. But when watching film just the other day, I'm so impressed with James White's blitz pickup. Like everybody knows he's a great receiver out of the backfield. He brings all the, he can run the football. He's got great vision. He is a really good pass protector.
Do you know where you learned how to pass protect like that? On a Disney cruise.
They did it all the time.
Yeah, for 4 weeks.
Oh, man.
What
else are you going to do?
Exactly. Well, I mean, there's Mickey Mouse.
Yes.
There's Lilo. Right. There's Stitch. And then there's Blitz Pickup.
Yep. There's Pluto.
Yeah.
And Goofy.
Yeah.
I covered them in the Leon.
So I got a question. Do they have roller coasters on Disney cruises?
No. Come on.
Not
Don't
yet.
be silly.
There's no rides?
Here's one for Robert Woods. You're from Gardena, California, and played at USC, so you're qualified to answer this. Bigger event for LA football, the Rams coming to town or Jeff Fisher leaving?
Sometimes you go hard. Wow. Sometimes you got to go hard. You got to go hard sometimes. Look at it and get to that one.
That is great.
I'll say this. I don't think anybody's ever made the Super Bowl going 7-9.
There you go. Or 6-10, right?
Right.
Aqib Talib, you're a notoriously aggressive player. Last time you were in a Super Bowl, you committed a vicious face mask penalty and was fined $26,000. My question is, what violent penalty are you looking to do this time? Helmet to helmet, horse collar, or the classic wet willy through the ear hole?
Oh. Underrated.
Players hate that. They just throw the flag on that one.
I could see him doing the wet willy.
That's a 15-yarder, right?
But he had a $26,000 fine? That explains why he's stealing people's chains.
Nah, to make up for it. Let's make up for it. You were going to ask us of both kickers.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't get to the kickers last night?
Man, it was crazy. Couldn't get to them.
Couldn't get to
Hecker?
No, this is kicker.
Oh, okay. So Greg the leg.
Zerline.
Gostkowski.
Okay, and Gostowski.
Greg was icing his foot.
What do you guys think of the proposed overtime rule that would call for a sudden death where each kicker gets to kick the other in the groin until one gives up?
Perfect. Are you kidding me?
How would that work? Can you walk me through what the rule? What would that look like, JB?
You both stand in front of each other where they do the coin toss at.
Okay.
And you kick each other in the groin.
Until the other one
the first one go on the knees. The game is over. It's overtime.
I mean, that's one and done, right?
Literally over.
How do you survive that?
Overtime.
So
that sounds like a Beavis and Butthead sketch.
Again,
I think I saw that before.
Do you toss the coin at all?
To see who goes first. Yeah.
Okay.
To get the other person in the coin first.
So that's a crucial. You're putting more on the coin toss than ever before.
Man, and you also can pass it. You know what I'm saying? You can say,
Is there a recovery period?
You can defer. You can defer.
Yeah, you can defer. Of course you can.
I'm not deferring. I'll take the ball. I want the ball first. Literally.
Oh my God.
Laces out.
Wow.
Okay.
Me and my guy Miles,
That's full contact.
We sit there and we try to think of the most outrageous thing we can write.
This is great.
That's great stuff.
So, and last one on that subject. Are you a tails never fails, or do you call heads every time? What are you, JB?
I like tails. I go tails.
Okay.
I go tails.
Okay.
I do.
Amazingly, both teams that won the coin toss called heads for the Super Bowl.
Wow.
And yeah, both won. The Rams called heads, and it came up tails, and that's how the Saints got the ball. Last one, Jared Goff. This is a physical bit set up by saying that apparently you didn't have the opportunity to fully illustrate for Jared exactly what he meant by your question. What does that mean?
You know what? I asked him very clearly. I said, look, you guys are the Rams. You're going against a GOAT and Tom Brady.
Oh.
He thought I was talking about like Tom Brady, the GOAT. And I was saying, how does a Ram beat a GOAT? He thought I was talking about the GOAT Tom Brady. I was talking about a real GOAT. How would a Ram beat a GOAT? You buck them. Mm-hmm. That's the only way. They both have horns, but a Ram is, of course, bigger than a GOAT. And you buck them. Everybody knows that. What a Ram does is two Rams, they get into they saute a Ram. And then one just goes like, they both do this at the same time, and they go, oh, buck! That's the only way a Ram can beat a GOAT. So I told him, use that as a metaphor for this game. You buck the hell out of that GOAT.
I like his Super Bowl.
When that goat is
but
down, when that goat is down like this, you say, I'm about to buck you. Buck him several times. Right? You buck him several times.
And then if it doesn't work, you have the two kickers come out and kick each other in the
I love
groin.
it. This is a pay-per-view event.
This is a great Super Bowl.
Pay-per-view.
This is a great game.
Yeah.
The game has so many possibilities, this game. This game is going to be amazing. Buck him. Buck him. Watch. It's going to be, watch. If they win the game,
Yeah.
that's going to be the headline. Rams buck Patriots.
Or goat.
Goat. The
Rams
goat.
buck
Buck the
goat.
goat. Buck the goat.
Okay. Do you think that's going to be the headline when it's all said and done, Shaun O'Hara?
It's possible.
I mean, who knows? The New York Post, they love stuff like that. See, they would be all over it. I'm sure goat's milk would be a part of that.
Goat's
or
milk
something,
goes somewhere in there.
They'll pull that out.
Yeah.
Rams. I feel like you're right. They have horns. I mean, their
Right.
horns are like when you look at them, you're like, wow. Like
Look at the helmet.
I can't believe that like just happened. Like that's how they were made. The
Yeah.
horns just grow like that.
The
I feel
horn-
like goats. They kind of like antlers. I don't feel like
They're more like,
they're like pointy. They're like,
yeah.
I mean, it's like.
Good fight, though. It'll be a good fight.
I think
to see
the
in
Ram
octagon.
wins.
That'd be good to see that in the octagon.
But in
Well, pay to see that.
I'd love to see the line on that.
so you think the Patriots win, though? Deep down, Shaun O'Hara. Yes?
I think they win another one, which is unbelievable.
6-3.
Like I think that they
They'd be
they
6
win
and
this
3.
game.
Who knows?
Tom Brady starts etching into possibly the best athlete
Ever.
ever,
Any
all
sport.
sport.
Still, we talk about the GOAT, but if few of those wins, the GOAT was not even on the field, Seattle game could have went another direction. The Atlanta game could have went another direction.
But
You got teams who played themselves into a loss.
But when you look at that Seattle
Also-
game, that was the #1 defense in the NFL. And at the end of the game, they were down, 14 points, 10
Yeah.
points? Brady, on back-to-back drives, shredded the #1 defense.
Yeah.
To put them in position to win that game. They had the lead there.
I still cannot
So
believe
it's
they did not give the ball to Marshawn Lynch.
That's what I'm saying.
I know.
neither can he.
5 years later, we're still talking
No,
about it.
I know, and I know that that Belichick put in his jumbo
They went
package,
6-2 goal
right?
line, but so what?
I know,
We still
and
won.
Crazy.
Yeah.
and I know that when you see that defense, you're supposed to check into the passing play, or the passing play is what's supposed to be called. But I mean, come on,
That game is over. That game is over right there.
I have never been in a situation, because this is the first one that I didn't have to do a post game show for in our NFL Network coverage. So my family's from my wife is from New England, and her entire side of the family, my brother-in-law, mother-in-law, nephews were in the crowd, and we had our kids, just our two boys, young boys, in the stands. So I watched with everybody. I'm in the stands, and I will never forget seeing all the Patriots fans crying, including my children, suddenly become elated, and all the Seahawks fans who were beyond elation begin to cry in one flip of a switch. I've never seen anything like it in any sport, in baseball, in the World Series, and hoops, never seen anything like that before. And so I still will never believe that they did not win that.
It was probably second only to the Tyree helmet catch as far as Super Bowl awe moments. Because it was not
but
just
you still needed to score a touchdown. That wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, that wasn't the end.
But
that wasn't the end. Curtain down.
Yeah.
Over.
The finality of that.
Right. To
play.
go from a 99.9% winning percentage to a 0% or to a 0.1% winning percentage in one snap of the ball.
And it wasn't even just that they threw it, but the play that Malcolm Butler made on that is remarkable.
I mean, it wasn't like a bad throw by Russell, right? Didn't he beat him to the throw?
He beat him to the throw, basically beat the wide receiver to it. So, I mean, you could run that play 10 times in practice, and maybe he catches it once.
Yep.
Just because the bang of all it takes is a split second. Maybe he gets hit a second or a half second earlier, and now the ball ricochets. I mean, that play, you can't time it up any better. I mean, he talked about it afterward. He drove on the route. As soon as he saw that little, rub route, he drove on it. You throw the ball on the 1 yard line, you throw a fade route. Guess what? It's incomplete, or it's a touchdown. You win.
That's the moment I talked about
that's the dangerous
Gronk.
throw. Yeah.
Same moment I talked about, the miracle. Tom Brady's he thought the game was over. He sat there.
Yeah.
That happens. Like, what happened?
I know. And again, that would have prevented a back-to-back championship.
Yes.
Which we still haven't seen now since the Patriots were the last to do it in the first 2 years of NFL Network, when they went back-to-back in our first 2 Super Bowls that we ever covered, the one in Houston and the one in Jacksonville. And Seattle would have gone back-to-back, totally different legacy right there. And Tom Brady, I mean, Tom Brady is like the Jordan. The number of times that he has denied legacies by winning one of himself, the number of times that Karl Malone was prevented from winning, and the number of times Ewing was prevented from winning, the number of times that Hakeem Olajuwon had to wait to win until Jordan played baseball. You know, all of those, Brady, Kurt Warner, and our 2 denied him a second ring. He's denied the Seahawks a second ring. Not you. Well, you denied yourself a second ring by not playing for the Giants.
Yeah, it was
Shaun.
more them denying me.
Yeah. Oh, is that what it was? Good to see you, Shaun. Thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Rich. Good to see you, man.
Shaun O'Hara will be part of the extravaganza.
I like it.
Always good, man.
8.5 hours on the NFL Network.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.